Hey there folks, rinimt here, and I was on Red Mage, not Monk, oops. And welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. In the last part, we did the dungeons for 2.3, and now it's time to do the raid. Well, once our third person shows up, and once I unlock it. So, Syrcus Tower. Ah, 'tis you, my friend. You are doubtless eager to hear of our progress on the Crystal Tower. Excellent! I'd be disappointed to hear otherwise. Of course, disappointed is the word of the day. I fear I'm ashamed to say there is nothing worthwhile to report. The Suns continue to probe the labyrinth of the ancients, and every day brings new discoveries. Last, the same cannot be said of the Crystal Tower proper. We've not been able to set so much as a single foot inside it. You will recall how the 8 sentinels stood between us and the labyrinth initially. In like manner, the entryway into the principal spire, Syrcus Tower, the elegants called it, is also protected by technology far more advanced than our own. Sin and I have tried every trick we know, but without success. Frankly speaking, we are at a loss. It is discouraging, but we cannot give up. There must be a way in. And so the situation stands, my friend. Until we gain entry into the tower, I fear your talents shan't avail us. It will require time that I am loath to waste, but I have a mind to set my people to scouring ancient texts as we have on hand. Perhaps we can be of assistance? Huh? And you are? Be at ease, my friends, for we share the same God. I am Une, and my companion is called Doga. We are scholars of the Allegan civilization sent by the students of Baldesion to assist in your endeavor. Une and Doga? Rather unusual names for this day and age, if I might be forgiven my observing, but I digress. You claim to be here at the students' behest, but we have received no word of your coming. Moreover, in light of the recent incident at the Isle of Val, I should think that they have rather more pressing concerns. We can only assume that the message failed to reach you due to some mishap. I assure you that we are here to help. What is it, gra'ha? Ugh, it's just nothing. There was a pain, but it has subsided. Well, this is rather unexpected. Your right eye is the same as ours. The same? You have the elegant eye as well? The sanguine hue is said to be the trait unique to the Allegans, yet inherited from my father as he did from his. Only one child in a single generation is born with the eye. All my life, I have sought to learn the truth of its manifestation. If there's aught you know, I implore you to tell me. My deepest apologies, but we have no answers for you. Only one thing is certain. Those who possess the trait are bound by the fate to Alleg. As your eyes pace you upon the path you walk, so too have we come to fulfill our destiny. Absurd though it may sound, it is the truth. It seems to me we have naught to lose by accepting your aid. What say you? If that is your wish, then so be it. You know that I still mean to verify your story with the students about the Baldesion when I am able. I trust there will be no objections. Very well, as of this moment, I name Une and Doga advisory members of NOAA. Without further ado, let us have them examine the Syrcus Tower entrance. I promise you'll not have cause to regret your decision. Arya, I should be much obliged if you were to accompany our new friends to the tower. Biggs and Wedge, my phone is not muted, are presently surveying the eight sentinels. The two of them can show you the way. Upon arrival, pray report to Master Garland. He will brief you on the situation. I shall join you, Arya. With Une and Doga's knowledge, along with your uncanny knack for setting events in motion, I am hopeful that we will finally see progress. Alright. Who the heck put a wall up here? Ah, right. We have to go through here. murmur, 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 murmur. You can't just fly in. Can't even fly in here. My flight. Jerks. Jerks, that's all I have to say. Alright, so there's Biggs. Well, if it isn't Arya, eager to enter Syrcus Tower and kill everything in sight, no doubt. As I'm sure you've already heard, though, the place is locked up tight as a clam. New friends from the students, you say? Excellent. It's been slow going. Rather, no going for the chief. He'll appreciate the help. If you'll just follow me, I'll take you to him. Some old faces to lift the spirit, and a couple of new ones beside. Allow me to introduce Une and Doga. They are scholars of ancient Alex, sent here by friends of the Altesian to aid in the investigation. We understand you're having trouble circumventing the tower's defenses. 'Tis our hope that we can be of some small assistance. If your tires ought to go by, your assistance should prove invaluable indeed. To begin with, let me tell you where we stand. But beyond rises Syrcus Tower, the principal spire of the structure collectively known as the Crystal Tower. The only way to get inside is through the proverbial front door, the imposing gate you see here. The problem is, we can't get it to open, sealed by some mechanism whose workings are an utter mystery to us. Having had no success via more orthodox methods, I went at it with everything from a pickaxe to magicite cannon. Nothing so much as put a scratch on it. For a blessing, the gate doesn't try to reduce us to ashes like the 8 sentinels, but that doesn't make it any less effective as a security measure. It's fiendishly frustrating in its simplicity. The only clue we have is the elaborate device carved upon it, a man and a woman respected, elegant royalty by my judgment. Precisely who these individuals were, we cannot say, nor do we know whether the device actually serves a purpose. Like as not, it is purely decorative. You're thinking to force it, save your strength. Says, no, yes, just ask the calluses on my hands. Rest assured, we did not mean to waste our strength. Indeed, why should we exert ourselves when the gate will open of its own accord? I don't think any of us expected that to happen. 7 hells! What is this? What did you do? What are you? Piercing the heavens and gathering the light, a symbol of mankind's glory and might. Its virtue guarded by gates impregnable, only to those of royal blood answerable. Exactly as passed down through legend, I am delighted to see. Beg pardons for interrupting your bewilderment. I couldn't help but notice the remarkable playthings you have acquired. Nero, you're still alive? Garland, if I didn't know better, I would say you weren't happy to see me. But I jest. In light of our recent meetings, you have every right to be wary. But rest assured, I am no longer a threat to you. My legion is, for all intents and purposes, defunct, and my association with it means a tight noose awaits me back in Garlemald. And so I've been roaming this land Eorzea, regular itinerant. In the course of my wanderings, I chanced to catch wind of your latest venture. It sounded positively fascinating, so I decided to come here and join you. Oh, excuse me, I need a drink. After the wrongs you've committed, you think us that gullible? If you are suspicious of my intent, it is only my just deserts, but I am determined to make amends. As a gesture of goodwill, I will share with you what I know, starting with these two odd characters. As you are doubtless already aware, the Crystal Tower was a symbol of ancient Aleg's might and prosperity. Entry was permitted only to royalty and a select few individuals. According to the records I have unearthed, only royal blood can open the gate. In other words, the Emperor and his progeny were living keys. You mean to say that these two are descended from Allegan royalty? Oh, I suggest nothing so glamorous. To put it plain, they are imitations of royalty, living keys born of Allegan ingenuity. Clones, I believe, is the name your creators gave your kind. Is that not so? It would seem that the time for concealment is past. Pray accept our apologies. 'Twas not our intent to deceive. We simply wished to avoid causing undue alarm by prematurely making what many would consider deranged claims. If it please you, let us return to the Sentinels. There is much and more to tell. Very well. Seven hells, do you seriously mean to follow us around? Come, Garland, you know me better than to think that I spoke in jest. What more will it take for us to be reconciled? A gift, perhaps? An elegant tombstone. It holds the information I just shared with you, and a deal more besides. It used to be the jealously guarded property of the 14th Legion, but it's yours now. I wish you joy of it. I look forward to working together, old friend. Well then. Alright, let's speak with Zoga. If you're ready to listen, we shall tell you all. As it pertains closely to your investigation, your leader, Rambrose, may wish to be present. Before we begin, pray allow me to apologize again. It was not our intent to deceive you. As you will have already gathered, we are not scholars sent by the students of Valdesian. No, nay, we are clones. Copies of people who once existed, given life through Allegan technology. This is rather a lot to take in. If it would not be considered unseemly, you might ask why you and yours were created, and more specifically, why is it that you now seek... What is it that you now seek to do? Answering your questions requires that we revisit Allegan history. Pray bear with us. empire reached its zenith long before our kind came into being. In that glorious age, the Crystal Tower stood tall as a symbol of elegant pride. Parents took their children there that they might learn how the nigh limitless energy it produced brought prosperity to the whole empire. That prosperity, however, bred decadence, and the empire began to show signs of stagnation. This decline was made all the more rapid for want of strong leadership. In a matter of generations, the elegant civilization became a pale shadow of its former self. Ugh. Its once gleaming cities fell into disrepair, and its frontier lands were given over to the wilderness. Lamenting the pitiful state of affairs, our technologist made it his mission to restore Alec to greatness. Aemon was his name, and he believed that the alien empire wanted for but a potent ruler, and none was more potent than its founding father, whom he sought to resurrect. The founding father? You can't mean Emperor Zonde. None other. As part of his experiments, Aemon created clones of the Emperor's descendants. We are the products of that experiment, copies of Une and Doga. Historical text mentions the reigns of two elegant emperors named Zonde. It was commonly believed that the second was a namesake of the first. After all, such a custom is not uncommon among royalty and commoners alike, to think that the two were in fact one and the same. Zonde returned from the grave and assumed his throne once more, and true to Aemon's prediction, the Emperor restored his realm to the glory it once knew. Would that he could have been satisfied with that. In his previous life, the Emperor desired to bring the entire world under elegant dominion, an ambition that ultimately went unfulfilled. Having been granted a second chance, he was determined to succeed. Realizing that he needed more power to wage his war of conquest, Zonde turned his sights toward a forbidden source, darkness. In order to learn how to harness the power, he converted the Crystal Tower into a restricted research facility. Darkness again? Seven hells, what is it with megalomaniacal rulers turning to darkness in their lust for power? Well, at least this one won't be bothering us, being thousands of years dead and all. Would that you were right, Master Garland. Alas, Emperor Zonde is very much alive. Within Syrcus Tower he still abides, his ambition burning all the more ardently for his empire's collapse. Wielding the power of darkness requires prodigious amounts of energy, an energy that not even the Crystal Tower could produce. In order to augment the shortfall, Dalamuth was created and launched into the heavens. On high it hung, gathering the sun's energy and channeling it to the tower below. However, a miscalculation resulted in a surge of energy that escaped into the land. This triggered an earthquake of unprecedented violence, a calamity that ushered in the Fourth Umbral Era. In the blinking of an eye, the mighty elegant empire was laid to waste. Yet even as the Crystal Tower was sinking into the earth, the technologist Aemon, now Emperor Zonde's closest aide, invoked powerful magics and halted the flow of time. Every soul within the structure, the Emperor included, was placed in a deep slumber. In that state, they were to remain until the time was ripe to awaken. Eras came and went. After millennia lying dormant, Dalamuth was summoned back to the earth. Its descent triggered the Seventh Umbral Calamity, in the wake of which the Crystal Tower re-emerged. At that moment, Emperor Zonde awakened. In his lust for power, the Emperor consorted with darkness and was seduced by its corrupting influence. Even though his empire is now little more than a fleeting memory, he will stop at nothing to see his ambition realized. Tis for no other purpose but to put an end to Zonde's madness that we exist. This is the mantle we have inherited from our namesakes, the true Une and Doga. Fearing what might befall the world, the two of them sought to thwart their emperor. They gave unto us their will, that we might carry on their mission should they fail. When we came to our senses within the Crystal Tower, we deliberated the course of action. Concluding that we alone could not overcome Zonde, we struck out to find a worthy ally. It has taken years, but our search is finally over. 'Tis no ordinary woman who can cut a path through the labyrinth of the ancients. With you as our champion, Ariana, we are confident that we can end Zonde's dark ambition once and for all. Well, that'll teach me for speaking too soon. Setting my chagrin aside, I see now why you knew about the students' Valdezia among a host of other things. You're observing our investigation the whole time. So what will we do, Arya? The world's in grave danger again, and it just so happens that you're an expert at saving it. Well, you know. You have our eternal gratitude that together let us see the Allegan Empire's dark past laid to rest. It has been our mission to recover the long-lost knowledge of the Allegan civilization, but what worth is that knowledge if it means subjecting the realm to peril? Truth be told, it pains me to think that the Tower's secrets may become lost to us, but the greater good must ever come first. Besides, no quantity of ancient relics could compare to our friends Une and Doga, living, breathing Allegans. And so I hereby declare a change in Noah's objective. Henceforth, we shall direct all efforts towards sealing off Syrcus Tower. Its dark secrets must never know the light of day. Arya, as you did for us within the Labyrinth of the Ancients, I would have you enter the structure and eliminate hostile elements. Suffice it to say, this includes Emperor Zonde himself. I'm just like, yeah, just smile and nod. Meanwhile, the rest of us shall examine ways to isolate Syrcus Tower from the outside world. To work, then. Wait, there is something I must know. My right eye is like yours. Does this mean... You inherited the trait from your father, he said. Know that clones are unable to bear offspring. You have no cause for concern. The Allegan Eye, you called it, but to us it is the Royal Eye, owing to the fact that the trait manifests only in those possessed of royal blood. I cannot well explain why their eye runs in your line, but I'm disinclined to think it a coincidence. Though you are doubtless impatient to learn the truth, pray have patience. All will be revealed in due time. Oy, ay, ay. My apologies if I've given you cause to worry. I am quite well, I assure you. As you can appreciate, there has been much for me to think on. But now is the time for action, not idle thoughts. Syrcus Tower awaits us. I think it's actually supposed to be like Circus, but Circus. There's a reason for this name, and I'm sticking with it. Your task is to eliminate all hostile elements within the structure, Zonde himself included. This will afford us the chance to seal off the facility. May the crystal grant you strength. And Syrcus Tower now accessible. Alright. Let me run a ready check. So we've got everyone here. And undersized party, Syrcus Tower. Alright, Syrcus Tower, let's go. So we do need one person in each party to, of course, enter. This is going to be a little interesting since I'm only level 56 and they're 80, and that means I have way less HP. Yeah. So normally there'd be a whole buttload of people walking in, of course, but welcome to Syrcus Tower. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've seen this, and much like Labyrinth of the Ancients, I've done this so many times. Oh my gosh. So there's the teleporter right there. There's two ways to take up the stairs here. You can go left or right. They're really about the same. Really doesn't matter. Let's see if I can actually remember to go out of Fist of Wind once I get up there. Oh my gosh, it's so weird. It's so empty. Alright, so we have our first trash bowl here. It's literally just a bunch of nonsense. Just some ninjas, a dragon, just a bunch of random stuff. The dragon can do some nasty AoEs. The little serpent-like guys can do some AoEs, or like a conal sort of deal. And yeah, that's about all there really is to mention about this first particular hole. So, let's head on up the stairs, because we made it through the ladder of ascension, which is gonna take us to our first boss. Again, both are the same, it's just whatever the heck you feel like taking here. Also, the music here is kind of cool. Though, when you've run this thing about 200 times, you stop really caring about how cool the music is. It's not that cool. Definitely a nice nod to FF3 here. So this is Skilla. Yeah, FF3 boss. And so you're gonna notice these three little lightning shooting thingies off to the side. And yeah, it's gonna become relevant as we go through. Oh my god, really? Okay, so I don't know how this goes with undersized group. So you're gonna get these orbs on you, and yeah. Oh my gosh. Alright, I guess I'll just stay over here. So you don't want to hold on to him for too long, because actually, Fist of Wind, let me outrun. Oh goody. Do we still have one in? Ow. So yeah, this is definitely interesting, undersized. There's a few things happening here. Ow. Oh my gosh, so many arms. So normally these are supposed to be split amongst all the different people. Scylla's using Ancient Flare here. To negate this, you're supposed to have people who are frozen get hit by those fire orbs, and they melt, and yeah. Oh my gosh. This is definitely a thing. Oh my goodness. What orbs do I have on me? The fire orb. And okay, I melted one person. Okay. And I'm frozen again. There's also all these ads kind of floating about, and oh my gosh. Alright, well, so still it does eventually have an ultimate that they'll use, that's like just you have to deal with a bunch of ads for each group, and that's why you need to power up the towers, and oh my gosh. The orbs there are definitely interesting in undersized groups. Good to know that if you get both an ice and a fire orb, you can't melt. So just another trash pull here. Some Acherons. Very similar to the last boss there of Labby. And once we defeat them, then a green dragon's gonna come down. It has a poison breath, it has poison hands, very similar to the boss of Gravelox, honestly. Also, as we go through, there's going to be some Doga and Une clones that are going to spawn. So many people will just kind of run off forgetting to, well, you know, kill these. Or, you know, oh, other people will do it. I've seen, like, you know, 80% of the Alliance will just run off and be like, you know, there's a whole ad thing here, and oh my gosh. It's a thing, alright. It's a thing. So we're reaching our second boss here, Glacia Labos. Again, FF3 boss. I think it's in Final Ascension as a boss. So on here, you're gonna see all these different side platforms. Yeah. Yeah. These in a regular synced run are not relevant. Ideally, we're gonna make them relevant. So eventually, after it does his attacks here, he does have a frontal conal attack, so you don't really want to be in front of him, unless you're the main tank. He has some, like, this Vile Utterance attack, which is like a conal you can actually see, that you can kind of just avoid. And eventually here, hopefully we aren't. Alright. So, you have to fight these in order to do what we're wanting to do here. And normally you would ignore these because what they're really doing is like powering up the boss, you could say, I guess. And hopefully we can have DPS held here. And we didn't get to see it. So yeah, there's like this whole thing where he starts doing a big ultimate attack, and yeah. If you don't, there'll be a bunch of ads on these side platforms, and if you don't kill them fast enough, then your whole alliance wipes, and you basically don't see it anymore. Like, ever. So, another trash pull up here. This is much more straightforward than Labyrinth of the Ancients, though still a lot of running in between. Ideally, what happens here is you'll notice that there's always groups of 3. It's meant to be that there's one for each party. So, we've got a red dragon here, very similar to the dragon of the last section, except this one's fire and does burn instead of whatever. There's gonna be ads that will spawn here, and 2 different ad sets can spawn depending on how long you take to kill it. Yeah, but you usually don't see the second one. Alright, so up here we have Amon. Good old Amon. My, such unruly guests. Would seem a little diversion is in order. goes on, these elemental byproducts are going to be spawning. If they make it to Aemon, they do a big silence attack on the group. So you need to make sure you kill them. Also, another type of ad is going to spawn here, these cum-cums. The cum-cums are just going to be annoyances, really. And you're also going to see these little tethers happening again. And what you need to do with the tethers is you need to pull them into the cum-cums. And that will mini them. Etherochemical bombs will be placed on random DPS. And you can assume these away so that it doesn't make a big explosion all over the place. More cum-cums. And also... No, we've got some silence going on. Come on, run into the cum-cum. No. I'm getting targeted with thunder. No, I was trying to bring it into the cum-cum. Oh well, I got it off me at least. Alright, so, eventually here, ignoring all the mini that's happening, Blizzaga Forte is just an AoE around him, causes heavy and some amount of damage, and we're now Ribbit. Ribbit, you can attack your other party members, or what can happen is someone's supposed to get frozen. Either is these snakes chasing the frogs, and yeah, this is gonna be another, so this is what happens when you don't have a full party. There's supposed to be like 3 frogs that made 3 people get turned to ice. The frogs to melt the ice, and... Alright, we're getting the ice. So you need to make sure this is out of Aemon's hitbox. So now we can't do anything. So the frogs would melt us, and now Aemon's using Curtain Call. This is his ultimate move. If there was more people, the people would need to be hiding behind the ice to not die, because it does, like, a lot of damage. We do get unfrozen after that, and then you can just go ahead and kill Aemon. Also, like, right after you break out, he always, like, almost always does his breath attack that's targeting whoever's the main tank, so it, like, always hits whoever the main tank's hiding with. Conceivable, beware, your majesty, danger approaches. Hey, striking piece that I don't need, but hey, striking piece. Alright. We are at the throne! And there's Zonde. So this is really the biggest reason why I wanted to do this unsynced, is because we would have had the same situation as what happened at Labyrinth of the Ancients. People would have rushed in, I would have missed the first part of the boss. You fight valiantly, mortals, but to no avail. And yeah, I just would have missed the whole entire first part of this boss. Absolute darkness draws nigh, soon it will be unleashed and all shall return to nothingness. Wasn't Zonde just like some regular old boss in FF3? I don't know, it's been so long since I played FF3. Alright. So, Zonde has some conal attacks, he has some teleporting around, he has some burning raves. And eventually, so yeah, he's gonna do these little orbs. If you don't have enough people to stand in them, then there's gonna be a lot of AoEs happening. Ow! Like that. If you're hit by Knuckle Press, it does do a big knockback. And we're about to enter the first meteor phase. So he's going to be calling down these meteors on us. Ideally what I like to have happen, or ideally what I like to do is if I'm on a ranged character, I will go ahead and go for these Stonefall Circles as a ranged character, and I'll just want to Starfall Circle first if I'm melee. Now when this first came out, this was a very tight DPS check, especially the second time around. So what's happened to that? So, this is where I don't know what's gonna happen. I may die. Ow! So that's actually a stacking thing. Yeah, you're supposed to have other people stack with you and to help negate the damage. This was before they actually had really set into place what a stacking marker was. Here's Aura Cannon. He's trying to be saving now. And he is warping away again. So this time, this is the one that was really the tight DPS chat. Back when this first came out. So many wipes to this. Because if these fall, you take a mass amount of damage. If the middle one falls, you really take a lot of damage. It's not pretty. Alright. I'm ready to die again! See if I can do it if I... like this. Probably not. Nope. I still take 15k. It's just split in two. I could survive one of those. Not both. So at this point we can go ahead and just kill him. I was waiting near that attack actually because you get this buff when you first raise up that makes it so you can't take damage, but if you attack then, well, you take damage. And that's Syrcus Tower with actually seeing Zonde because we didn't have people rushing in. Pretty shot here. Syrcus Tower complete! Alright. I'm gonna pop open the treasure chest. Hey, the minion! This is... like, the top of Syrcus Tower is so pretty. Oh my gosh. I wish I could just, like, come up here and sit. That would be so great. That would be so nice. I actually didn't realize all these random items were located in Coffer A. Because normally, like, for the later ones, later raids like this, they actually have it so that there's a fourth coffer and that stuff goes in those. And yeah, this is like, oh my gosh. Look at this. This is so pretty up here. Seriously. Alright. Let's set out. Arya! You did it! You defeated Emperor Zonde! Empires may rise and fall, but man's spirit ever lives on. Truly, you are the champion we had hoped for, Ariana. With Emperor Zonde now at eternal rest, his dark legacy may be undone. What are you playing at now, Nero? In case you haven't noticed, Garland, these are dangerous rounds. Can a man be faulted for exercising due caution? At any rate, you needn't mind me. I'm perfectly capable of looking after myself. Go on and finish what you came to do. There are two ways that we may seal off Syrcus Tower. Either isolate it from the outside world or cripple its ability to produce energy. The choice of method is yours to make. Before we proceed, however, Doka and I must needs attend to a task. distortion. What is it? The power that Zonde sought to obtain comes from the void. The world of darkness, our people called it. And the true nature of that power was none other than the armies of Void Sent. Void Sent feed on Aether, as you may already know, and no plane is richer in it than ours. In exchange for their allegiance, Zonde entered into an unholy covenant. He would open a gate through which the Void Sent could freely enter our world. The covenant, I'm afraid to say, is still in effect. However, being of the Emperor's lineage, Une and I believe that we can annul it. By his blood, Zonde sealed his dark pact. By our blood, it shall be undone. It is time. Yes, Doga, may we fulfill our purpose. Or, we may fulfill our purpose. Breathing hard, as we've learned. Oh, be still, my beating heart! For a moment I feared that this outing would end in disappointment, but my readings were not mistaken. Not even Ultima Weapon compares to this. What are you going on about? The covenant is everlasting. And so Mericidia is brought into the fold. Soon all the world shall be united under Allegan rule. And yet, with every dream that becomes reality, the memory of death grows ever more vivid, an endless void bereft of light and warmth. Though I may have defeated death, it did not leave me unscathed. Nay, its ravening claws have scarred my soul for eternity. Never shall I know peace. Beings without will, who cannot fathom my rage, my melancholy, and my fear. What worth is wealth and power when all must inevitably be consigned to nothingness? If man has nothing, he need not know the pain of loss. So let there be nothing. Harvest more power that the gate may be thrown full open. Let the cloud of darkness come and engulf the world, devouring all life, hopes, and dreams. It will all be returned to nothingness. Arya, pull yourself together. Is there no end to them? What in the seven hells is happening? Not now, damn it. Nero, were they part of your grand plan too? Save your japes, Garland. I didn't put up with your arrogant face to play with worthless clones. Something controls them, avoids it, and no ordinary one at that. Doga! Confound it! Without them, there's no way to master the darkness. The power is mine! Nero! The covenant shall be honored. I am the cloud of darkness. I shall devour your light and return this world to the void. Damn it, the rift is gone. What are we supposed to do now? As much as it pains me to leave without them, there's precious little we can do. Let us return to the find and consult Rambros. Oh. I'm gonna talk to the wrong NPC. All has happened within the tower. Gods preserve. The rift that manifested before the throne was a void gate, of this I am certain. There exist myriad kinds of voids. The more powerful the being, the larger the gate must be for it to pass through. It would seem that Zonde sought to open the gate of unprecedented proportions, one that would allow this cloud of darkness entry into our world. Fortunately for all mankind, he did not succeed. I shudder to imagine what this void is capable of. However dreadful it may be, we can't abandon our friends. Is there no way to save them? I will not lie to you, Master Garland. The situation is bleak. The void can enter our world, instances of men entering the void have never been documented. It pains me to give voice to my fears, but we do not even know whether our friends still live. Damn it! I feel so helpless. No, I refuse to give up. We must save Doga and Une. We share the same eye, 'tis true, but that is not what motivates me. Above all, I wish to help them to fulfill their mission, a mission whose burden they have been earned for thousands of years, and besides, we cannot leave matters as they are. So long as Zonde's dark covenant is binding, our world is in danger. It's our duty to prevent the worst from coming to pass. Gra'ha, ever since meeting Une and Doga, you have not quite been yourself. Tell me true, is all well with your eye? I honestly cannot say it. I know only that there is a memory that I must recall. As a child, my father told me that the truth of our eye rests with Alec. The answer eludes me still. One day I will find it. I'm with Gra'ha. However slim the odds, we must try to save Une and Doga. Aye, and that bastard Nero as well, if only to make certain that he won't make any more mischief. You have the right of it, though we have known them but briefly. Doga and Une are our comrades. We cannot fail them. I shall consult experts in literature both. I swear to leave no stone unturned. Yet know that it may be a while before we are ready to act. I would ask that you all be patient. When dealing with the void, one cannot be cautious enough. My thanks again for your assistance. Pray rest now while you can, for when the time comes to go after our friends, you must be at no less than full strength. We'll save them yet, Arya. Mark my words. Alright, I do believe that leaves us... Yep, next quest is the last part of that series, but of course we won't be doing that till we've finished the 2.5 stuff. So, on that note, next time we'll go ahead and head into 2.4. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Next time for a burp pickup weird thingy, yeah. So, thank you for watching. Oh, if you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing. If you really enjoyed it, consider supporting the channel. All support greatly helps her keep being content like this and more. You can find the links for that in the description, along with links to me on social media. So thank you again for watching, and until next time, this is rinimt, signing out. Bye-bye!